Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Gate 102 podcast. I hope you find you well and I hope you're having a good week. So episode 13 today, meaning game number 13, unlucky 13 for some, but not England, as I'll be talking about a time England drew 0-0 with Germany back in November 2017. Now before I was planning this episode, I thought to myself, what can I talk about? It's a goalless draw at Wembley. But when I read up on the game and watched it back, there's quite a lot to talk about. A lot more happened than I thought did happen. So without further ado, let's run through the starting lineup. And with it being another friendly and not many games before the World Cup, Gareth once again opted to experiment with a few players. So Jordan Pickford starting in goal for the very first time. I think last episode we talked about the Lithuania game and Maguire made his debut then. So gradually these key players we saw under Southgate were being brought into the fold. So a special moment for Pickford, a debut for him. He was then about 5 for England, which was something that was coming quite common at this point. Kieran Trippier started at right wing back, Danny Rose at left wing back, and then about 3 of Phil Jones, John Stones and Harry Maguire. So the midfield of Eric Dyer, who's captain, Jake Livermore, and also a debut for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was a player who probably went on to pick up a decent amount of England caps, to be fair to him. He started slightly ahead of Dyer and Livermore with a front two of Jamie Vardy and Tammy Abraham. This is Tammy's first England cap as well, making it 3 debuts since in the starting lineup. So reading up on the game, in terms of appearances between the players starting, this was England's most inexperienced side since 1980. And to have the most inexperienced side since 1980 and to draw 0-0 against Germany, that's impressive. It's fair to say Germany had a better team than England did. So for England to get a draw on the night was really encouraging. The first 15-20 minutes, though, Germany were all over us and England struggled to contain with them, really. Leroy Sané hit the bar and had one cleared off the line. Tino Werner should have taken 2 opportunities as well. Pickford making 2 good saves. So, yeah, Germany were all over England in the first half. However, England did grow into the game, grew in confidence and actually came very close to scoring. Debutant Tammy Abraham was inches away from giving England the lead and Jamie Vardy almost scored as well. So England did create chances in the first 45 and it's quite an entertaining end-to-end first half, really. One thing to mention is that around 25 minutes in, Phil Jones, who was actually having a decent game, pulled his hamstring, meaning a 4th debut of the night, as Joe Gomez replaced him at centre-back. Gomez had obviously worked with Gareth at under 21 level, and yeah, he did really well coming on. In terms of the second half, England started it just like they ended the first. Jamie Vardy came very close again with a header. He probably should have scored, to be honest, but great save from the German goalkeeper. Jesse Lingard, who came on as well, substitute, blazed over the bar from 6 yards out. And yeah, how he didn't score, I'll never know. But yeah, on another day, he'd have buried that. But it goes to show that England did create so many chances, but just lacked that composure in front of goal. Harry Kane was injured for this game. And I think if he was fit, the game doesn't end up being a draw, personally. But I mean, I'd say the first half was pretty even, but the second half, I think everyone will agree that England were the better side. And I actually remember after the game feeling slightly disappointed that England hadn't won because they played so well. And bearing in mind it's Germany, and as mentioned before, England put out most inexperienced team in almost 40 years. A draw was brilliant, but I do remember feeling slightly gutted that we didn't win. But obviously England did beat Germany at Wembley not too long later in a much more important game. Yeah, can't wait to do that episode further down the line. In terms of the highlight of the game, you'd also have to be Jordan Pickford. Believe it or not, Butland was actually injured for this game. And I do think if Butland was fit, he'd have probably started over Pickford, but obviously Pickford started and just did brilliant. And despite it being his debut, he wasn't afraid of telling players what to do, made some crucial saves and kept a clean sheet. So he also got man of the match. So yeah, not a bad debut. Loftus-Cheek performed really well, was involved in the game and was, I'd say, England's most prominent player when it came to creating chances. But just the performance overall was brilliant, and I'd probably say despite not winning, it was the best performance we had under Southgate up to this point. So really encouraging. And I think the key strength for England was the defence. So this was Gareth's 13th game in charge, and England had kept clean sheets in 8 of them. So yeah, really, really positive. I said at the start of the episode that there were 3 debutantes in the starting 11. The last time this happened was against Chile in November 2013. Fraser Forster, Adam Lallana and Jay Rodriguez all made their England debuts back then. So the first time England had 3 debutants in the starting 11 in almost 5 years. I mean, I think for a 0-0, I've covered quite a lot. So I'll be back next week to talk about another 0-0 at Wembley, this time against Brazil. Hopefully, just like this episode, I can find stuff to talk about despite the scoreline. I'll try and squeeze as much as I can out of the game. A reminder, you can listen to all our episodes on both Spotify and YouTube, and you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Gate102 Podcast. Right, that just leaves me to say. And also thank you for listening. Always appreciated. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.